Today, sorry for the delays, the network issues. So we are going quickly to public relations, and from the screen you see uh, the diagram there. So let's follow the diagram. So we look at the public. So when we talk about the public, we are talking about the entire society, both male, female, young and old. So from there, we have two types of the public. We have the internal and the external. When we talk about the internal, we are talking about the staff and their families, the management, CEO, managers, and then we also have the stakeholders. From the external, we have the customers, we have the consumers, we have NGOs, and then we have government, banks, mass media, etc. So when we talk about PR, that's public relation, it is being used to project the image of any organization. So be it company, be it any organization, be it church, be it mosques, so anything that has to do with the society, we use the public, we use PR to address the masses. So what is public relations? According to Rex Hallow, so he sees it as, he said, collected, he sees it as good performance, respected by public. Look at that. The second one says performance and recognition. Work well, hence get a compliment. Now let's move to
Mr. Elisha, please, we cannot hear you.
hello, can you hear me now? So according to, I love that revelation.
Yes,
He
yes,
said
yes.
public relations is a system of communication to create a good will. Look at that now. A system of communication to create a good will. So companies, organizations, NGOs, government uses PR to do what? To create goodwill in the mind of the people on behalf of the organization. That is PR. PR is so powerful. Any organization that must succeed must be able to effectively make use of uh, what we are talking about this afternoon. So public relations is a positive presentation of an organization towards its overall public. Look at that now. All right, let's look at the first World Forum of PR. It says public relations practice is the art and knowledge about process of analyzing trends, predicting their consequences, giving counseling to organizations leaders, and implementing planned program in order to serve the organization and public interests. Look at that now. All right, so we now look at the second one. According to Center and Brown, he says public relations is the management functions, is the what? Management functions that build and maintain good and beneficial relationship between an organization and public. So PR work should be done by, he said it should be a deliberate work from the management. In fact, is the management functions to make sure that the image of the organization is being projected well in the society. So he says management functions that build and maintain good and beneficial relationship between an organization and public, which influence the success or the loss of the organization. Look at that now. So we move to important concept in PR definition. What are the important concepts? The first one is public relation. Second one, PR goals. We have functions. We have PR working areas, PR media, PR tools, PR writing. Now, let's start from PR goals. From PR goals, we have creating a mutual understanding between a corporate and its public, building the corporate image, building a favorable public opinion, building goodwill and cooperation. I love that so much. Please underline that. Building goodwill and what? Cooperation. So every organization must be able to strategically do what? Build goodwill and cooperation within the between the organization and the society, the general public. So let's look at creating a mutual understanding between a corporate and its what? Public. One, it says well-informed information between both sides to avoid misperception. Two, a corporate must realize this real condition of its public. There must be a feedback. So who are my public? Do they know me? How are their perceptions about me? These are salient I do, why I do it. So whatever why am I doing it? So as an organization, you must be able to ask this question: what do I do? Why do I do it? So why am I doing what? Why are we supposed to do what we ought to do? How am I different from my competitor? Public must be well informed about what has the company done or will do. We're talking about creating a mutual understanding between a corporate and its public. What are its products? Is it committed to support public interest? Pick just one here. We'll just pick one here. He said, according to Edward Bernays. So just look at that. He said, public relation is a combination of philosophy, sociology, economics, language, psychology, journalism. Look at that now. So it's beyond journalism, because a lot of us we just look at PR or public relations only from the angle of journalism. It's more than that. Public relation is a combination of philosophy. Please don't forget that. Sociology, economics, language, psychology, journalism, communication, and other knowledges into a system of human understanding. Into what? A system of human understanding. Now, let's quickly move to origin. Origin. Because of our time, let's look at origin. Origin of public relations. So, according to Thomas Jefferson, 1807, used the phrase public relations in the place of state of thought while writing his seventh address to the US Congress in India, Great Indian Peninsula Railway Company Limited. Now, let's look at what he said. He said public relations campaign in England for promote tourism to India through mass media and pamphlets. So during the time of First World War, a central publicity board was set up at Bombay, now Mumbai, for disseminating war news to the public and press. So even anytime there is war anywhere, you will still discover that. Have you asked yourself this question, that how is it that people are still able to get information about what is going on during the war? It's the work of PR, public relations. So after Second World War, the public relation activities gain importance because during the war, the entire world was being carried along with the happenings, with the day-to-day happenings during the First World War. So because of that, PR now get what? Gain more importance. So both private as well as government started public relations campaigns. Today, after the First World War, there is no serious organization, underline the word serious organization, that don't take care of its PR. Very, very important. Very, very important. Any organization or company that is not deliberate about her image, about how the society sees that organization, we start to sink. That kind of organization cannot stand the test of time, because in our world today, public relation is something that even the government, let's take for instance this issue of COVID-19 that is ravaging everywhere now. There is no day that the government don't give us updates of what is happening. So if you wake up in the morning as early as 6 a.m., you get the updates of all the affected people, both children, both young and old. In fact, CBN keep giving us, from the economic side, different sector keep giving us, updates. That is what is called PR. So, need for public relations. Investing on public relations will help the organization, look at that now, to achieve its objective effectively and smoothly. Public relation is not creating good image for a bad team. No, it is not creating good image for a bad team, since false image cannot be sustained for a long time. Though the organization product or services are good, it need an effective public relations campaign for attracting, motivating the public to the product or service, or towards the purpose of the program. Look at some of this real estate. Sometimes you just turn on your radio, you keep hearing a lot of adverts. You keep hearing people coming on board to the TV to talk about their product. What are they trying to do? They are trying to create good image of their organization, of their product, of their services in the mind of the people. So an effective public relations can create and build up the image of an individual or an organization or a nation. So even if you are the president or you are holding one position or the other, even if you are doing well, but you don't have someone that is good to manage your image, there's going to be a problem. There's going to be a lot of damage to your character as a leader. So it is important that we all know the importance of public relation. So at the time of adverse publicity or when the organization is under crisis, an effective public relations can remove the misunderstanding. Even as a student of DPTS, sometimes you need to be deliberate about how you portray the image of the organization in the society, because you are a student of this organization. If you cannot speak well, if you don't speak well of the organization, and at the end of the day you get certificate from such an institution, the certificate might not be useful for you, because it is the same you that use your mouth to discredit the institution. So any institution that you belong to, you don't use your mouth to destroy that institution, because you still have a certificate that you need to be proud of at the end of the day that will come out from that institution. So look at it here. It says, at the time of adverse publicity or when the organization is under crisis, an effective public relations can remove the misunderstanding and can create mutual understanding between the organization and the public. Let's assume your parents don't understand something concerning the school. Let's assume your friends don't understand some things concerning the school or where you work. It is your duty to be able to do what? Do the correct work of what? PR. You must be able to what? Create mutual understanding between the organization and the public. Even within your family, sometimes it's as if there is misunderstanding. It is your responsibility as a member of that family to be able to do good work of what? PR. Don't forget where the first thing we said concerning this PR, and that is why I'm going to be rounding up. We said PR has to do with the public, and we said the public has to do with all the society, be it children, adults, and so on and so forth. And I said public is divided into two, and I'm closing there: internal and external. The internal has to do with the staff and their families, the management, CEO, managers, and then stakeholders. There are things that must not go beyond these people. There are some information that they must be able to manage. It is called internal information. There are some certain information that shouldn't get outside. Now, we now have external. External has to do with government, consumers, NGOs, government, mass media. This one has to do with what? The public. So I want you to, on your own, do more research on what PR is all about. I want you to be able to do more research before we meet.
Please, let's patient.